Line Sunday when they're favored by 7 in the NFC Championship game. We are down to 4. Deebo Samuel left in the first quarter with a shoulder injury and is 50-50 to play. So major story to watch right there. And look who's in the building. Jeff Saturday. How we feeling? How we living?
What's up, big
Man, I'm living good, excited. We got The Rock coming in.
We got The Rock.
Oh, just met him, like highlight. My day's already been made. It's right. And then I walk in and
So
Stephen
much
A's in that
charisma.
purple.
I know.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, it's next level. We just missed Shay being here. I'm surprised he ain't here.
No. That's why Saturday Night Live. That's why Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
Make up for it, baby.
I was here early. I was there early.
He's busy.
He got
a little something going on.
And he was like this. I didn't know if I was going to show up to work Monday. That's what he said. That's what he said.
Yeah. He just kept looking at those views and cashing those checks.
Yeah, he ain't worried about it.
He's like,
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I don't know about that little show you guys do in the mornings on ESPN.
That little something.
I might be back. All right. Obviously, we're really pumped for these games this weekend.
Heck yeah.
Better weapons on offense. Would you go with Detroit or San Francisco?
San Francisco.
Easy?
So let me put this in a category. Without Debo, with the injury, it's a conversation. With Debo, I think it is clearly the 49ers. Whether you go Kittle and the way he can play, as good as Laporta has been, you look at Kittle, what he can do. You look at Brandon Ayuk, the speed that he has. You think about Jawan Jeans, the blocking receiver that he can be. All that style, and then put on Deebo Samuel, who is probably one of the most electric players in the NFL. And then you get to put the cherry on top with Christian McCaffrey, the offensive player of the year, and should be. And this guy was in MVP conversation. If he's a quarterback, he clearly wins it. This guy can do everything. He can run it. He can catch it. He can block for it. He can scheme. You name it. This guy is the ultimate bailout for any other player on this football team. If you don't know what you got, Shanahan turn around and hand it to that guy, because that guy can make differences. So that's why I got to go San Fran, because McCaffrey to me puts him over the top.
I disagree. I get your point about Debo, because I think with Debo, obviously he tips the scales to some degree. I'm going to go the quarterback route because I think Jared Goff is better than Brock Purdy. So now we look at the rest of the personnel that they have, okay? I'm looking at the Detroit Lions, only the second team in NFL history to have at least 4 different players score 10 or more touchdowns. Montgomery, Gibbs, Brown, and Laporta. Okay, we got to take that into consideration. I also got to take into consideration that even though it's with San Fran and Miami, Detroit is atop the NFL with 27 rushing touchdowns. Montgomery and Gibbs are the only teammates to rush for double-digit touchdowns. I'm looking at it from this perspective. You got dual running backs. You got Laporta at your tight end spot. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown as a wide out, okay? I'm looking at the weapons that they have, and then I have to think, who's the best person to utilize it? Ooh. I'm looking at Purdy, and Purdy to me has shown, and I was talking to Shannon and obviously RC about this yesterday, and they conceded that Goff is better than Purdy, that Purdy seems to need ideal circumstances, even though both of them, especially Shannon, was willing to give Purdy credit because he was struggling all throughout the day, inclement weather, ball slippery, et cetera, et cetera. You still handled your business on that final drive when it mattered most. Shannon was talking about moments. Can't take that credit away from Shay. But in the end, Goff is considered better than Purdy. And most of the weapons that we're talking about need to be utilized by the quarterback. And so I look at it from that perspective, and I'm saying, man, I can't just summarily dismiss Detroit. I got to look at them and say, all right, Debo, that's different. Yeah. But with a questionable Debo, I don't know, Jeff said.
Hold on. Let me just before we go there, let me just bring up a little stat thing that I had to put together just for everyone, because I know RC came in and he put a little smoke and mirrors on everybody, right? Put a little smoke. And listen, he was upset about having to talk about Purdy and the MVP and all that. I get it. Whoever wins MVP, I really don't care. That makes no difference to me.
Right.
But let me just say this about Brock Purdy. When you talk about every basic need from a quarterback, how has his QBR been versus man, when blitzed, when not blitzed, when pressured, when not pressured, in the pocket, in the red zone, in the fourth quarter, on third down? He is top 5 in every category. For the majority of the season, he was number 1 at all of those things throughout the season. He played extremely poorly against the Ravens, and they got exposed.
Go ahead, Shannon.
But come on now, let's just just put Purdy like he's second class. No, you did basically say he was a scrub.
No, I did not say that.
Yes, you did.
Who the hell am I to say that? No, I wouldn't say that. Go ahead.
He is close. But I give the nod to the 49ers because of Christian McCaffrey, because he's the best player on either side offensively.
That's right.
So with that being said, I gave the nod to the 49ers. But you're right, Stephen A. For me, I think it's a lot closer than what people want to realize. When you look at Armand St. Brown, you look at Reynolds, you look at Laporta, you look at Jameson Williams, you look at Montgomery, and you look at Gibbs. They're loaded offensively. But when you look at C-Mac, and what he's able to do game in and game out, he really was the one that took the game over because Kyle Shanahan says, you know what? Run us back into this ball game. And what did he do? A 39-yard touchdown run, and then he sealed it with a 5-6-yard touchdown run. So because of Christian McCaffrey, and I believe he's the best offensive player on either side, I lean towards the 49ers.
Yeah. Hey, let me say this, too, about Shanahan gets a ton of credit for offensive play calling. Johnson for Detroit, when you're talking about multiple guys with 10 touchdowns. And Gibbs, listen, this kid is special. He is a special player. Catching it and running it, he is a difference maker.
By the way, let's take a moment to give some love to Wilks, the defensive coordinator in San Francisco, doing a hell of a job this year.
Yes.
Deserves head coaching consideration, by the way, since he was holed on a couple of opportunities. It would be nice to see Steve Wilks get interviewed for a head coaching job.
Yes,
What
sir.
job he's done in San Francisco.
You're taking the Niners?
Niners.
Yeah.
Niners.
All right.
Yeah.
Coming up on First Take, he's an actor, a wrestler, and a businessman. But most importantly, he's going to be live with us in mere moments. Don't miss Dwayne.
And added, quote, Dak isn't it. All in capital letters with multiple exclamation points. Dak's brother Tad, who is a friend of the show, went on X over the weekend and posted, Cowboys fans who continue to DM me, trust me, if I could get Dak to leave Dallas, I would. Meanwhile, Micah Parsons' brother Terrence got into the act, saying that Dak needs to take a team-friendly deal. He posted on X, Dak should, quote, take $40 million or pack your bags. So Micah Parsons responded. He posted, any comments made by Terrence Parsons Jr. are his and his alone. As you know, if I have something to say, I'm not afraid to say it. I love my team, my brothers on my team in the city of Dallas, and I'm more committed than ever to bring a championship to the greatest fan base on earth. So Jeff Saturday, I mean,
it's Mad Libs, right? Like player's mother says critical thing about other players.
The best part about that whole thing is how Greeny read pack your bags.
Pack your bag.
Your bag. That's what he wrote. So I mean, the bottom line of it is this. I mean, this is. I don't even know what to say about this.
Yeah.
We've seen like little subtle shots.
Ridiculous.
This is the star receiver's mother saying very publicly, Dak isn't it, in all caps. We didn't. I mean, that is the spelling and that is the punctuation.
Family matters. Family matters, right? This is an issue, and it's going to be an issue for the offseason. I will say I've kind of changed my tune. We talked about it even after when we went to commercial. We discussed this before. But the personal context in which you are coming at players, Dak isn't the guy, or like
he should take it.
Yeah, he should take this or do that. Like when you start directing people, that becomes very personal. And as you walk back in that locker room, you're going to have a hug it out, because ultimately they are all better together. And I think that's what people don't want to see. They're short-sighted thinking, oh, we're going to get rid of the next guy is going to be better, or the next whatever. It's always greener. That's not the truth. CD had his best year yet. Dak had his best year, right? So they have these situations in place where they can all get better together. This does not help any scenario. Everybody's emotional. Everybody's raw because of the way the season ended. This is a bad place to be, and I think all of them would do well to do what Micah did. Hey, I disagree with whatever was said. We're moving on from that.
Yeah, I don't want to be talking about people's families, but they really should get their people to be quiet.
Yeah.
Like, this ain't helping nobody. This ain't no good for you. It's not good for the player. It's not good for Dak Prescott. I will say this, though. There is an amount of pressure that being an NFL quarterback, puts on you, and then there's being the quarterback for the Cowboys.
Oh,
and it is a whole different animal, because as we talk about all this context, we can look at Dak's record in the playoffs, and we can look at his stats in the playoffs, and there's a lot of other reasons that we could point to, and Dak is way down on the list of things that need to change if they're going to win a championship. And it sucks because the fans and family members, they're not willing or capable of understanding all of that, and they want to spout off. And then to top it off, like I mentioned, this ain't good. This ain't helping your son or brother. This ain't helping Dak. This ain't helping Jerry. This ain't helping
Dak's going to take less now. They done told him, take less.
I mean, your son had 1,700 yards. Somebody threw the ball. I mean, he's not. Dak is something, right? I don't know.
Is there something, anything if you're in that, if you're Mike McCarthy, if you're someone there, I mean, do you need to get this is the off season. I mean, everyone should be right now where, they're in the Bahamas or in wherever it is, and they're relaxing, but we can't have it.
I think we're definitely getting on a Zoom or something. We all need to talk a little bit here. Because look, see, what have we spent the better part of 2 hours talking about, right? We've been talking about context, chemistry, it's a team game, people have to work together, everybody's interdependent. I mean, it's an interdependent sport and all.
Yes.
We're talking about a franchise quarterback, franchise wide receiver, who the franchise wide receiver's mom said, the quarterback ain't it.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't say,
It's not good.
he needs to be a little bit better, or maybe my son needs to be used this way. He said, he ain't it.
Right.
Okay, and see, there's like levels to insults too, right?
Yes.
Like, there's like, if you tell me I ain't it, or what's the other one? And you tell a football player, like, it's like the gloves are coming off. You call somebody soft.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, there's certain things that are going to be real hard to get past.
Yeah.
And see, there's nothing good that can come out of this.
The context of it also, if you see the post itself, she is responding to someone who was saying, CD should come to Houston. And she writes, that would be awesome. CJ is great. She's referring to CJ Stroud, and then writes, Dak isn't it. So it is a direct criticism. It is a direct attack, might be too strong a word, but I mean, it is a direct shot.